Hi there everybody, this is Adam from the Rogue Valley Family YMCA coming at you with another workout of the day. Today is going to be focused on a lot of the core, and when we talk about the core I think most people just think of your abs, and it's a big part of it, but also is including your hips, your low back, your glutes. There's accessory muscles. I have a definition here, just because the muscles of the torso, especially the lower back abdominal area, which assist in the maintenance of good posture. And then also, I like this one, the depths of one's being. So like your strength inside comes from your core, right? So you build up that strength from the inside out. We're gonna work on that a little bit today. So it's all body weight. We will do a little bit of a warm-up first, just to get started. This should take about half an hour. I have it broken up into a couple sets, so if you wanted to do more, do less, just add on those rounds as we do it, okay? I'm planning on doing 3 rounds, so this should take about a half an hour. All right, let's get warmed up. I like to do a nice big stretch up to the ceiling, really lengthen that core, right? Create a little bit of space in your back and your sides. We're gonna do that throughout. And then shoulders, we're gonna be in plank a little bit, so I wanna loosen up my shoulders and make sure I'm ready for that. I like these nice big swings. Your arms are nice and loose and relaxed. And then we'll do some nice big circles. Let's do 3 one direction and 3 the other. And the other thing that I don't always warm up, stretch out, that we're gonna do today is your wrist. So I like pulling back on your fingers, stretch out your forearm a little bit, and stretch the other side. We'll be in plank for a little while today, so I wanna make sure we're kind of prepared for that. So whatever you gotta do to warm those wrists up, get them ready. All right, moving on, we're gonna move down the body a little bit. I'm gonna start loosening up my hips. I like these hip circles, so I'm gonna go up, out, and back and down. I'm just gonna do 3 one direction on one leg, trying to find the outside edge of that range of motion, and then I'm gonna change directions. So I'm going back, out, and forward. That has the added bonus of challenging your balance a little bit, which comes from your core, right? That's what we're working. So up, out to the side, whew, fight for that balance, up. Nice job. 3 one direction, 3 back the other. All right, and then just to kind of loosen everything up, I always like to find a little bit of a hop. So I'm light on the balls of my feet, shoulders are nice and loose and relaxed, shake your arms out. Once you get into that rhythm, then you can start rotating your toes side to side. The little torso rotation, right? Engage your abs. So a little bit of a flex. Nice job. All right, we have the second half of our warm-up. We're doing 2 different exercises. I'm gonna bring the timer in just so we can focus on these specific movements. So I've got my timer set for 45 seconds with a 15-second break in between. Each of these exercises has a right and a left side. Alrighty. So first, I'm gonna find a sumo squat position. Toes and knees are pointed out, and I'm gonna drop my hips wherever your position is at, your comfort position. You can find that there. So I'm dropping my hips down. I'm gonna reach my right hand out over my left foot. I'm gonna take my left hand and reach behind, bring it back. So I'm really just trying to reach as far as I can. Feel that stretch along these big muscles along your side. Your obliques, the lats. So I'm doing 20 seconds on one side, 20 more, sorry. We got 45 seconds total. One direction reach. Nice job, 10 more seconds. Nice job, so we got to do the other side on that. Staying nice and warm. We got 5 seconds. Find that sumo position. Drop your hips. So I'm reaching the opposite direction now. My right hand's tucked behind. So I'm coming back to that center. As I'm coming back, I'm trying to squeeze down, crunch down, and then reach away. Getting a little heat in those legs. Get that blood pumping a little. Six, 5, 4. Nice job. So we get a 15-second break. We're going to do that on the other side. We're only doing 2 rounds of this since it has a right and a left side. So back to that first side. It's kind of hard to see on the back. I'm trying to reach with my left fingers the opposite direction, so my fingers are spreading further apart and coming back together. That's kind of helping me, that reach with the opposite hand is helping me keep my chest open, my shoulders in line. Seconds. Good job, everybody. Getting warm. We've only got a little bit of legs today. This is it. Trying to put the focus on that core. Last one of these sumo squats. Get those fingers right, my right hand's going to the left and my left hand's going to the right. Back. So it's a little bit of kind of a stretch, warm up, but then it's kind of also about that mind muscle connection, right? Is your body following the directions that you're giving it? Good job. All right, last little bit of our warm up. Here, I'm gonna use my mat. You want some sort of cushioning under your knees. We have a couple options here for I surrender. So, starting from a kneeling position, I'm gonna reach my hands up. I'm gonna go on just one leg for 45 seconds. Step forward with my left. You have a couple options. You can step up. You could just work this. If getting your knee off the ground and stepping forward is difficult for you, just go from here to here, okay? Otherwise, you can step forward, and then I'm not gonna drop this right foot as I drive up to stand. Back down, up, back down, okay? So staying on one side for 45 seconds, you get a 15-second break, and then the other side, we'll do that 2 times through. Again, really just kind of about that control. We normally do this with dumbbells, but keeping your hands up overhead is also working the shoulders and making you think, when we don't have the external weights, you can really concentrate on that control. Right, because if we have the extra weights in our hands, then we're focusing on those, on keeping your arms straight. Nice job. 6. Woo. And a little wobbly. Perfect. All right, we got that other side. So whatever level you're at, like I said, if just keeping your hands up, step forward, step back. Trying to get your foot high up and up, off the mat. Catch your toes, but like I said, just about being able to do what you're asking your body to do. I want to make sure I'm not scrunching my shoulders up by my ears, trying to keep a little space between them. 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3. Nice job. Shake that out. We got one more set on either side. Starting to feel that in my shoulders a little bit. Just a little bit of warmth. Nice deep breath. Ready? Begin. This workout isn't necessarily like the most explosive, intense, but building up that core strength will help you in all areas of your life and will help you be more explosive through those movements because you'll have more connections, more control. Step it up, down, down. Nice job, 15 seconds. Three, 2, last one. Down, down, down. So lower abs are used in these knee raises. As I'm bringing my knee forward, I'm trying to put a little bit of focus on my lower abs, and then as I drive up, the second knee also. You're doing a knee raise. Down, down. Ten seconds. Then you're done with these, then we're getting into the meat of the workout. Appetizer's done. Time, good job. So I'm gonna go through 3 rounds with you. The first round, I'm gonna take longer pauses in between to explain all the movements, but then the next 2, we'll just kind of do real time, busting through it, all right? So most of these, all of them are down on the ground, like I said, trying to put a focus on core, your abs, front abdominals, your obliques on the side, your low back, into your glutes a little bit, into your hips. And just give myself a break here. So, our first movement is alternating. It's a sit through. So it's from find a hand and knee position. My knees should be under my hips, hands underneath my shoulders. From here, I'm gonna lift my toes, tuck them underneath so I can pick my knees up. All right, already we're working. Core's engaged, you're supporting. If you're feeling a lot of pressure in your low back, at any point, give yourself a rest, give yourself a chance to cool down a bit. So, lift up those knees a couple inches off the floor. The sit through aspect of this, I'm gonna lift my left arm, my right knee's coming under. So I'm in a tripod, kind of a crab position. Once I'm in this crab position, I'm gonna reach my fingers up towards the ceiling and drive my hips, trying to get parallel with the floor. Up, back down, and then you just reverse that sit through movement. Boom, right back to that start position. And we're going the opposite direction. So right hand and left leg movement. Sit through, drive it up, down, and back. All right? So we're gonna do that for 45 seconds. I think the most important part of this, obviously safety, listen to your body. If you're putting a lot of pressure on your wrists, give yourself a little bit of a break, right? Take breaks as needed. But I think the most important part of this step through is this hip squeeze. Reach it up towards the ceiling. I'm trying to squeeze glutes. And like I said, focus on that core. Down, back through. So, ready to blast off here. Reach those fingers up towards the ceiling and back down. 5 seconds. Nice job. So that's our first movement. Like I said, we're moving from one exercise to the next. I have 8 total. Some of them are right-sided and left-sided. Our second exercise is the shin box. This one gives people problems sometimes because of limited mobility in your hips. So we'll try and help with that a little bit. I'm going to find a seated position, that kind of position of comfort, right? Again, we're alternating side to side. I'm going to fold both knees over to the left. Call the shin box because we kind of make this 90-degree angles. My knee is connected to this heel is connected to this knee. I'm trying to be in a box, right? So, as I rotate to the left, and then from here I'm going to use a little bit of momentum, lean forward, drive up, press hips forward, come back down, and switch. Other side. Up, and back down. Alright, let's keep moving. Let's hit this shin box for the first time. Take it slow as you're going through these movements for the first time. Find the weak links in your chain that maybe need to be addressed a little bit more, but otherwise I'm trying to keep my torso nice and upright. Like I said, I like to do this with weights held up here, rotate, up, and press, right? Having something heavy in front of you right here makes this a lot more core involved, or abdominal involved because it's pulling you backwards. But I like this exercise a lot for the range of motion aspect of it. Nice job. All right, number 3, plank, shoulder, knee tap. So, good plank position, should be hands, maybe not directly underneath your shoulders, but you can have a little bit wider, whatever your kind of position of comfort is. I like to spread those fingers out nice and wide so you have a real wide base, and then actually press your fingertips, the pads of your fingers, down into the floor and in the mat beneath you. Just creating as much stability as you can. That way you can focus on that squeeze in your abs, all right? So stepping back to a good plank position, trying to find that straight line from my shoulders down to my heels. The exercise we're going to do for 45 seconds is opposite hand to opposite shoulder, shoulder, knee forward, okay? And then returning to that kind of plank position. So while I'm moving my arms and legs, I'm trying to keep the rest of my body as quiet, as still as possible. And that's where that stabilizing in your core comes into play, all right? 5 seconds here. Find that plank position, ready? Opposite hand, opposite shoulder. Shoulder tap, knee tap, knee tap. So you can go super fast, but that's usually when we lose that stability. So I like to slow it down just a little bit. Shoulder, knee, knee. Woo! Find that balance. Don't forget to breathe. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. So, give those shoulders a little bit of a break. This one, it's gonna be weird. Not sure how we're gonna film this. So, we're doing banana roll. Well, yeah. We have 3 moves all stacked into one here. Best way I can do this for the camera, I'm not sure. So, starting prone, like I said, giving your shoulders a little bit of a break. I like to keep my hands in contact with the floor, so I'm gonna do a Superman pull. So I pull my elbows back and try and lift my chest up a little bit and work the muscles in your back, the spinal erectors, and your low back. So hands come to your sides, and then back out front. Once we get back to the front, I'm gonna roll. If you don't have a long enough mat, that's all right. I'm gonna roll, banana roll to one side. So I find that hollow body, trying to keep my shoulders and my feet up. I'm gonna knee tuck from here, back down, this side, up, down. Ooh, I cheated.
Hard not to.
So yeah, the idea is to not use your hands to create that roll, that banana hollow body roll, right? And then knee tuck at the top. Back to center. Okay. Let's give that a shot. 45 seconds. Yeah, as best you can, right? If we need to take something out, we definitely can, right? Trying to bring my chest up a little bit off the mat. Reach it out. Knee tuck. Oh god, I'm stuck. Yeah, trying to stay on the mat is probably the most challenging aspect of this. Oh. So modifications for that one could be just the banana roll side to side, and you can just keep regressing, right? You can find that hollow body, go one side, back, one side, back, just trying to keep those hands above the floor. I like to keep my hands in contact with that Superman, so I'm not really using a lot of momentum to try and get my chest up, because I've strained my low back a couple times doing that, and just trying to be safe, right? So safety first. Going back to plank position. Instead of being up on your hands like you were for the knee taps, we're gonna drop down to elbows. Once you find that nice plank position, I like this. It feels a little more stable than on my wrist, so I like elbows underneath my shoulders, hands on the floor out in front. But you can kind of use that same, pressing your fingertips down into the floor. Step back into that plank. I'm going to keep my feet close this time because the movement for 45 seconds, I'm just going to heel raise, back down, heel raise, back down. So again, I'm trying to keep my back nice and flat while alternating those heel raises. Take the momentum out, that little slower controlled squeeze, and just do your best. If you feel any of that heat building up in your low back, you can always drop to your knees, right, and just hold the plank. But I want to try these heel raises, so Lift up. I'm trying to keep my hips square to the floor. Working your hamstrings, which are a contributor to that core because they're connected to your glutes and your hips. Nice job. "15 seconds, hang in there. Five, 4, 3, time. Nice job, drop to those knees. Good job, everybody. We're almost done with that, with our first round of exercises. So, our last three are all kind of connected. It's just crunches, basically. We're gonna do crunches to the left side, crunches to the right side, and then more center. So, you get to lay down. That's always nice. So to focus on my left obliques, I'm gonna let my knees fall over to the right, and they're just gonna stay there kind of in that relaxed position. And then really, I'm just trying to get my shoulders up off the floor. Crunch, back down. So keep your hands behind your ears, don't pull on your neck too hard. Be gentle with your neck, right? And just really trying to put as much tension into these obliques for 45 seconds. So you get a 15-second break, you're gonna flip your legs over to the other side and get the other side, all right? So I won't have to go into a long explanation of that one. Here we go, left obliques. I like to kind of time it along with my breathing, so I'm inhaling as I'm dropping back to the start position, and then exhale on that squeeze. Nice job. 5 seconds. Beautiful. Get a little extra long recovery because you don't have to move very far. You're just bringing your knees, dropping over to the other side. This also is a nice little stretch for your hips. But we're focusing on these right obliques now. Ready? Get those shoulders up off the mat, and then that's about as high as I go. I can still kind of feel the mat with my lower shoulder blade. Seconds. So I'm realizing I've got a little bit of a rotation here at the top, so my right elbow is getting close to the floor and then reaching more towards my top knee. And I didn't say that before. Good job. All right, our last crunch here, our last exercise on our circuit. I'm going to find a 90-degree angle. I'm going to reach my fingers towards my heels, and it's just a crunch to the center, right? So again, just trying to get your shoulders up and back. Nice job, everyone. Fifteen seconds. Nice job. So that was the top to bottom ab circuit. I'll go through it 2 more times with you. You can follow along. We just won't have the longer breaks in the middle to explain the movements. All right. So grab a drink, shake everything out. I can feel this already 2 more times. It's going to be super fun. All right, you remember what was back at the top? That sit through to hip raise. And remember, focus on squeezing your glutes as you're lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. No more pause in the time. Oh boy. 3, 2, 1. So tuck those toes under, step, reach. 10 seconds. Awesome job, everybody. Reach it up, down, and back to start. Stop, 15-second break. All right, let's take a seat, doing that shin box. So I'm going side to side. This one has a similar squeeze, right? You're squeezing your glutes, pressing your hips forward, and then you're lowering yourself back down. Careful, to the other side. Need slightly wider mats. So feet stay forward. Feet are in front. I'm just rotating hips. That's where we're working on that hip mobility. Drive it up. I'm trying to keep my feet pretty much connected to the floor in the same position. Rotate back. So you're kind of compressed in some interesting ways. That's where that mobility comes into play. Nice job. That one flew by. All right, find that good plank position. Nice and tall, fingers squeezing into the ground. Find that stability. Shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee. Nice job, keep the rest of your body nice and still, back nice and flat. 10 seconds, hang in there. Shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee. Shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee. 2, 1. Nice job. All right, here's the crazy one. That Superman banana roll V up. Like I said, be careful. Listen to your body if something's not working for you. And adjust. Keeping your hands connected overhead, that helps me at least keep my hands off the ground as I'm rolling. 10 seconds. Oh, I missed it. Roll over, nice job. 2, 1. Nice job. I know that's a little awkward. But it's not as intense. So I'm gonna start my timer over. We're running out. Close. All right, nice job. So we're on that low plank now. So elbows underneath your shoulders, hands are forward. Find that straight line body position. Then you're lifting one heel up and the opposite heel. Nice and controlled. So as you pull away one of your supports, the rest of your body has to compensate, right? That's that stability. Wasn't there that guy recently that he planked for 8 hours or something, right?
8 hours.
I get bored.
I think it's something crazy after, I can't remember.
Nice job. All right, last 3. We got the left-sided. We're working that left oblique, so I'm letting my knees fall over to the right. And just a crunch, you just get those shoulders up and drop them back down. Remember to focus on that breathing. Exhale on that squeeze. So, my left elbow is close to the floor, and then it's reaching towards my left knee. A little bit of a rotation. "15 seconds. Good job, everybody. Keep it up. It's not necessarily about building that 6-pack, right? But if that's one of the side effects that happens, I'm okay with that too. It really is more important to be, strong and stable so you can go about your daily life. But it's one of the nice things about exercise is there's also some aesthetic benefits, right? Inhale, exhale, crunch it up. Seconds, hang in there. Get 3 more. Nice job. All right, flat on your back now. And go ahead and find that 90-degree bend with your knees. Fingers are reaching towards your heels. My arms are not long enough to get even close to my heels. But I'm reaching far enough to get my shoulders up off the mat. Nice job, 20 seconds. All right, we're going back to the top of that list. One more round. Woo! Sit through to the hip raise. Am I getting far away?
Okay.
Good. All right, find that nice flat back beast position. Toes are tucked under. Lift those knees up just a couple inches off the floor. Sit under. So make sure you're stepping under on your sit under. I know sometimes it gets a little tricky if it's not something you're used to. You want to go over this way and step. You're always going underneath, reach down, under, up, back. Last one. Nice. Back to that shin box. Ready. I'm going to turn to the right. Hips come up, down, other side. The closer your feet are to your mat, to the rest of your body, probably the more challenging that range of motion is going to be. Like I said, you want to hold something heavy right in front of your chest here, goblet squat style. Makes these a lot harder, especially coming up on your knee to press that hip forward. Good job. We're hustling through, almost to the halfway point. Plank, shoulder tap, knee tap. Find that good plank position. Shoulder, shoulder, knee, under control. "15 seconds, awesome job. Stable as you can. Beautiful. Good job. All right. So last one of these Superman banana roll V-up. I'm going to take the Superman out because I'm not enjoying it that much. And if you love it, keep it in there. So I'm going to banana roll. Oops, sorry. Start from the middle. Banana roll V-up. Banana roll. Whoa, that rolled right off my mat. Five, four, three. It's not even that hard. I swear the crunches are harder. Good job. It's just awkward. And like I said, just about that body control. Low plank. Down at your elbows. Heel raise. I kind of like this one. You really squeeze in your glutes, in your hips. At the same time as really crunching down on those abs. Find that flex, that's where that stability comes from. Make sure your hips aren't sagging towards the mat, keep them up. Flat back is ideal, but I'd rather have you up than down. Okay? Awesome job. Last 3 minutes here. 45 seconds of 3 different crunches. Let's start with the left. Shoulders up off the floor. Again, finding that rotation. I'm trying to get my left elbow close to the floor and then reach it towards my left knee that's on top. Ten seconds. You got 4 more. Good job. Nice deep breath. You ready for that last minute and a half? Drop your knees to the other side now. I'm focusing on this right oblique, the one that's up on top. Right elbow's close to the floor, and then reach it to that right knee. I'm keeping my hands in contact behind my ears, but I'm not locking, not pulling on my neck. 15 seconds. 4 more. 10 more. 2 more. 1. Nice job. Very last exercise of the workout, unless you wanted to do some more, you can always rewind. It's the nice thing about these online ones. So, feet up, try and find that 90 degrees with your knees and then stretch those fingers towards your heels. Trying to touch them. But I'm concentrating on that crunch, just getting your shoulders up. I'm not rebounding either, so I'm not creating this great big space underneath my low back. I'm trying to keep my low back in contact the whole time as I squeeze forward and as I come back. Ten seconds. 3, 2. Nice job. And I just thought of this. We didn't do hardly any cardio at all. So the perfect add-on to this would be mountain climbers. So I'm gonna do 45 seconds of mountain climbers real quick, just to end the workout. Find that nice plank position and then alternating knees come forward. Trying to keep your hips lower, not necessarily way up here, but definitely don't want that low back sag either. Nice job, we're at the end. 20 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Woo! Nice job, everybody. Way to work hard. Couple deep breaths. So you probably hear me say the word control a lot. And I think when things are kind of out of our control, it adds a lot of stress. So you have to find those little things that you can take control of, like your food and like what you're doing with your body, right? Take that control back a little bit at a time. Thanks everybody, have a great day.